What's good, everybody? This is SaberWolf94, bringing you guys Pokemon sets from past formats, DP style. We're going to talk about Secret Wonders now. I'm on a roll, and I'm going to talk about Secret Wonders right now. So this is honestly one of the best sets of all time, one of the strongest sets of all time, and it really comes down to a couple of cards. Really, these two guys here, Gardevoir and Gallade. So I'm going to talk about Gardevoir first and foremost, since it came first anyway. So this card is honestly one of the strongest Pokemon of that time, and like, man, even if they made like a fucking remake of this card for this format, it would be amazing too. I mean, we got Gardevoir GX, but anyway, so this card, Gardevoir, at 110 HP, might not seem like a lot, but it was kind of standard for back then. Retreat cost 2, alright. And no resistance, weak to Psychic standard, but it had one great Poke Power and a great attack as well. So Telepass, once during your turn before you attack, you could search your opponent's discard pile for a supporter card and use that effect. So it was basically like you would use an additional supporter, or if you didn't have a supporter, you used an opponent's supporter, and that was great. That's great. Uh, it gave consistency, especially because back then we didn't really have like supporters like Juniper, Sycamore, and shit like this. It took a while for Professor Oak's new theory to get reprinted. We would get the updated Professor Oak's new theory. We had Professor Oak's new theory in Fire and Leaf Green too, but anyway. Uh, so this was very significant. Poke Powers uh, was really the way we drew back then, with Claydol and shit like this. And this is why the attack Psychic Lock is also amazing. So this attack, one Psychic, two colorless. DC wasn't available immediately back then. It came in Heart Gold, Soul Silver when it got reprinted. But even then, back then, when things were kind of slower, you could still, of course, have this attack already. Psychic Lock, fitting name because during your opponent's next turn, your opponent can't use any Poke Powers on his or her Pokemon. Now, this is amazing because you couldn't stop it. It's not like other types of ways where we get rid of powers and shit, where maybe you had a way to out your opponent. If Gardevoir attacked, you just couldn't do shit. You were not going to use powers next turn. So this was very powerful. Maybe you guys can't imagine, but this is honestly was incredibly powerful because if you managed to did this early, like not only did you deprive your opponent of Poke Powers, and really the way that they would draw and do shit, just blocking powers in general, powerful, and you had your own Poke Power that you would help you out getting supporters, using supporters from your opponent. So this was very good, and combined with Gallade, which we'll talk in a minute, made one of the best decks. So Gallade, which is the DP new evolution of Ralts and Kirlia. So this Pokemon was good because you could use it together with Gardevoir since they evolved from Kirlia. And it also used the Psychic Energy for its attack, which was cool shit we used to see back in DP and stuff, and the EX series. A fighting Pokemon, but it uses Psychic energies to attack because, it's also a Psychic Pokemon too in the games. So 130 HP, was very good. It was standard, much better than Gardevoir's. And we got, the same to retreat cost, weakness to Psychic. Okay. So Sonic Blade, put damage counters to the defending Pokemon until it is 50 HP away from being knocked out. If you do, the opponent switches defended by one of his or her bench Pokemon. So this is solid, to be honest, for two energies because if your opponent had a stage 2 Pokemon. They would usually have like 130 HP and what have you. So that means it's like you did 70 damage. Now, of course, it's not going to work like this on every Pokemon, but that's the best scenario, and that's the scenario you're mostly worried about. Big Pokemon. How are you going to do good damage on big Pokemon? But the real kicker here, the thing that this Pokemon is very famous for, and what really pushed this deck to being so strong, one of the strongest decks ever, is Psychic Cut. So this does 60 damage for 3 energies, but you may reveal as many face down cards as you like of your prizes. And for each card you reveal, you could do 20 more damage. So let's say you reveal all 6. You could do 180 damage for 3 fucking energies. Now, imagine this, like back in the like when 5th generation was out, like doing 180 damage was like a magical number to knock out Pokemon EX in one hit. But fucking back then in Diamond and Pearl, doing 180 damage not only was unheard of for like virtually no cost for 3 energies, but it was more than overkill. Like normally what you would do is like you would flip maybe 4 or 5 so you could get a one-hit knockout on a stage 2 Pokemon, I believe. No, wait, yeah, 4 or 3, not fucking 5. You reveal 3 or maybe 4, and you would knock out basically a Pokemon, stage 2 Pokemon in one hit. There were big Pokemon back then like Raikou level X. Well, it didn't get introduced immediately, but this was in Legends Awakened. But the thing is, even like the big level X Pokemon, you could knock them out in one hit if you wanted to. This was an insanely strong attack, and honestly, GardeGallade, this deck was one of the strongest decks. Really dominated the format. It was strong for quite a while, and then when they reprinted DCE in Hard Gold, Soul Silver, it kind of saw a comeback too once again, because then you can power up Gallade and Gardevoir's attack quick with DCE. It was really something else. Now Magmortar from the same era, Magmortar decks, kind of could beat it, and they could give it a run for its money, but this was honestly the best deck, hands down, during that period. Uh, the fucking mirror matches and stuff could be annoying, and it's not like it's one of the most fun decks, I guess, to play against, since it can fuck you up. But in so many ways, like Gardevoir would just lock you. But it was definitely very powerful. And to top that all off, Gardevoir also had a level X. That was good shit. So Gardevoir level X, 130 HP, the 20 HP improvement was good. It had teleportation once during your turn. Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon or one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and switch Gardevoir with that Pokemon. Oh, no, one of your guys. So basically, it was like an escape rope that you could control from the bench or being active. So that was cool. And Bring Down was a solid attack. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon with the fewest remaining HP, and that Pokemon is now knocked out. So, had some synergy with Gallade's attack as well, and in general, it's tough. It was powerful. Really, really, these are probably the 3 best cards from this set. Or actually, of course, I have to talk about this. It was going to be the Gallade, Gardevoir, and Roseanne's Research, but I forgot about Gardevoir level X. Was in this set as well. But yeah, Roseanne's Research, there's another card that was very impactful. We used it for as long as we could. You got Roseanne here, scientist chick, looking really nice, really cool. Got little Piplups here, cute, and you got Professor Rowan in the background. I just thought I'd mention this a little bit. Cool art, shit. But this Pokemon, like I've said, this supporter really didn't have like supporters that could do like really strong ass shit, like draw you a lot of cards and stuff back then. And this was one of our more consistent ways to just grab pieces little by little. You had the option to get in combination of any basic Pokemon or basic energy cards, show them to your opponent and put them into your hand too. So you could get a basic and an energy, or two basics or two energies, and this was like your standard supporter. People usually ran 3 to 4 of this card. And when Pokemon Collector came out, that guy kind of outclassed Roseanne's research if you wanted to just grab basic Pokemon altogether. But she had the option to get you energies. And outside of SP decks, when they eventually got introduced and they had Cyrus's Conspiracy, this was one of the more reliable ways to get energy as well. Have the option to get the right amount of energy into your hand. So this was a very good supporter. Definitely one of the best cards in this set. Saw play in almost every deck. And yeah, along with the GardeGallade, I think they're the most significant cards. But of course, we're going to talk about other cards that were cool from this set. And of course, I love this set because it includes a Salamence. Yeah. So the first introduction to Salamence in the DP was this set, Secret Wonders. Now, this isn't one of the there's only 3 Salamence in DP, and that's not a small number by all means for a 3rd generation Pokemon as well. But this guy's probably the weakest of the 3. He has a more reliable attack and direct hit, so you can work on its own. That can't really say the same for Arceus Salamence, but at the same time, used in conjunction with the Stormfront Salamence, he kind of loses to Arceus Salamence this way. But this is a much earlier Pokemon from the 3rd DP set. The other Salamence cards, it took a while for them to come out before this guy. And Dragon Finish is a cool attack. But this isn't really like one of the best cards. I just talk about it because, Salamence is my favorite Pokemon. But what else cool cards we had here? We had Blastoise, Charizard, and I believe, Venusaur. The whole trio got represented here. So some cards like Blastoise, they look cool, but they kind of miss the mark. Like his Rain Dance, original brother, you use this ability, you may attach as many basic water energy from your hand to any of your Pokemon in any way you like. But you can't do this a million times. You can do this once, you put as many basic energy as you want, and then your turn ends. So yeah, it was still kind of cool, but didn't really, end in your turn. It was kind of a big drawback. It wasn't like a 3rd generation where maybe you could afford an effect like this. And Hydro Pump was a cool attack, of course, combined with Waterlog. We do a lot of water damage, but not to pay for this energy, for this attack's energy cost. Yeah, so back then we had stuff like this too. Yeah, one of the last, I think, sets that had this sort of thing, like not used to pay for the energy cost. Then we got Charizard. This Pokemon is kind of ass, but it is Charizard. If your opponent had 3 or less prize cards left, each of Charizard's attacks did more damage. But yeah, good luck putting 4 energies. And no matter what, you flip a coin. If heads, you ditch 2. If tails, you discard all 4. Not good, not good. And I guess I'm going to talk about Venusaur. This probably might be the best one, I think. So okay, his attack isn't that great. You flip a coin if you have to remove 4 damage counters. Okay, that can be significant, but it's a coin flip. And once during your turn before you attack, okay, once again you flip a coin. If heads, you choose either sleep, burn, or poison. Defending Pokemon is not affected by that special condition. But, you know, at least this guy, I guess, isn't that high risk. Oh well. But yeah, this set was kind of like the set, just like, I guess, each set kind of introduces a Pokemon that are like the starters from the previous sets and what have you. Uh, this had the the Kanto ones, and also had a bunch of legendaries from Johto too. Like we got Entei, Suicune, and Raikou. So I want to talk about Raikou a little bit because he's kind of cool. So 80 HP basic, not that, you know, hot. But once during your turn, before you attack, when you attach a lightning energy from your hand to Raikou, you may put 1 damage count on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this was very cool because it kind of acts like a mini sneaky bite, kind of acts like a Crobat damage counter drop every time you attach an energy to this dude. And you know his attack costs 3 lightning energy, did 50 damage, and you ditch 3 energy cards from the top of your deck, and it did 10 more damage for each energy you discarded. And then you attach those energies to one of your Pokemon. So risky ass Pokemon with Thunderclamp, but it was kind of cool. This was kind of used with Electrode from the same set, I believe. There was a guy using this. I don't remember, but we're going to talk about Electrode because he's cool. There we go. So you guys know from my TCG overview history of Electrode cards. This Electrode is in Secret Wonders, and this is a good Pokemon. It can do 100 for 2 damage, and then you knock your ass out, but you can become fucking energy when you get knocked out with his ability. So he was cool. Little mini stuff here and there. His stats were good too, minus the HP, but it's Electrode. So cool stuff. Another cool Pokemon from this set. It's a damn shame we couldn't use it with Raichu officially, I guess, when it came out in Undaunted, was Electivire. So this Pokemon actually has Dynamotor, but it only worked for himself. Yeah. But you grab a lightning energy from the discard pile, attach it to himself, and it's like Dynamotor from Electric. But, you know, it kind of works with his attack. You ditch lightning energies and do fuckloads of damage. You know, you'd use this with Level X Electrode from Mysterious Treasures 2. It was kind of cool. Yes, 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 indeed. So I want to talk about Ho-Ho as well. I remember this dude that has a sort of Phoenix Revive shit. So Phoenix turn. Once during your opponent's turn, if Ho-Ho will be knocked out, you can flip a coin. If heads, Ho-Ho isn't knocked out, isn't discarded. Instead, remove all damage counters, special this is an effect from Ho-Ho. Ditch all cards attached to Ho-Ho, yeah. Okay, so basically, if he was gonna die, you flip a coin. If heads, you know, your opponent still gets a prize, and you ditch everything attached to Ho-Ho. But he revives basically with no energy. It's like he didn't die. And Rainbow Wing, you know, you did damage if you had different basic energies on him. Not great, but you know, these were cards that are kind of collector cool. Some of the better cards, I guess, for actual competitive play, maybe Flygon. As long as Flygon was your active Pokemon, you put 1 damage on each of your opponent's active Pokemon between turns, excluding fighting Pokemon. So, kind of reminds you of the Sand Slammer Flygon. Not as strong, but this was DP. And, did 60 for 3, not great, but if you attach the fighting energy that turn, if you time it right, you're going to do 80 more damage. So not the greatest guy, but the Pokebody was strong. Right. We got Mew as well. Mew. So this was a support Pokemon. If I look at it, Psychic Balance. If you have less cards in your hand than your opponent, you drew cards until your opponent had the same number of cards as your opponent. Wow. So if you had less cards, this acted kind of like a Majestic Dawn Chatot. Right. I want to look at Weavile too. Yeah, I remember this guy. So this is like the only. It's very interesting because Weavile is usually like 9 times out of 10 a darkness Pokemon because it's dark, but because it's also ice in the game, it's so weird looking at Weavile water water Pokemon. It's not weird for other like ice water Pokemon because they're also water. So when you see like things like Dugong or like Walrein or other ice Pokemon, like maybe I guess Glalie and stuff, it doesn't look so weird. But with Weavile, it always looked weird with me. It was cool, of course, but yeah. And it was also kind of cool. Search your deck for up to 2 darkness energy, attach them to Pokemon any way you like. Of course, it was a stage 1, but yeah. So we got a bunch of unknowns here, but I don't think any of the unknowns are good. There's like one unknown I've seen so far. But some of the more, we got some good reprints here like Night Maintenance and BB Search. Those cards were also used a lot. And I guess I should talk about some of the smaller guys that were important. So Trapinch. This guy might not look like much, but when Flygon Level X was released, that did the whole deck out thing with his power. You would use the Memory Berry and use Sandtomb with this Trapinch, so your opponent couldn't retreat. And if you did things right, you brought something that was hard to retreat and got stuck there. If your opponent was not running Switch, you could deck him out. It was quite something if you knew what you were doing. Standler 2 is kind of a cool support Pokemon. You search your deck for a supporter card, costless basically. Right. Not bad at all. It's just he didn't put basic Pokemon on your bench, so you were still not safe. And then we got something that I really like. Where are you, Duskull? Where is Duskull? There you are. Like I've said in my Majestic Dawn video, a lot of these basic Pokemon had items on them. So Duskull had Rebro Cloth, and that means Duskull can evolve during the turn you play it. So cool shit. I think Markro has something like this too, if I check it out. Yeah, Duskstone, real nice. Too bad Honchkrow sucked. Oh, fucking hell. I mean, look at Honchkrow level X here. This is one of the coolest cards for me, like ever, because it's Honchkrow level X. But he was not good. 110 HP. It barely passes as an improvement. No retreat cost is good, but he's actually, well, he was not ×2 weakness of lightning, which was very strange. Most level X cards got ×2 weakness, but he actually kept his lightning weakness to +30. He got the fighting resistance, cool, and he could do feint attack, 40 damage to, it was a 40 damage snipe basically, but didn't hit for weakness. I mean, didn't hit for any other effects as well, but negative effects, but And Darkness Wing, if you knocked out a Pokemon with 60 for 3, you could grab any card from your discard pile and put it into your hand. Not that amazing, to be honest. If you were going to pull level X from this set, which was hard, it would be like 1 per 2 boxes, I think. You definitely want to pull Gardevoir. Indeed, indeed. So that's some of the stuff I'm going to talk about Bacon as well too. So one other thing is that was kind of cool if you're a Salamence guy. When Memory Berry eventually got released in Platinum, one of the more reliable ways to run Salamence, at least before Garchomp C came and fucked everybody up, would be to use the Memory Berry and use Rage. For as much damage you had on you, it did more damage. You know, with Stormfront as well, you could possibly do this for Costless as well. And, you know, Salamence had a lot of HP, so he would survive. But yeah, I don't think any of the unknowns here were good. Can't really think of anything. We got Muck. What does it do? I think Ampharos as well. I want to look at you. You were kind of interesting. Oh, shit. I clicked something by accident, it seems. Yeah, jamming was strong. If your opponent plays a supporter, you put 1 damage counter on everybody. And on each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And a Cluster Bolt, you know, it's kind of good. Especially if when DC got released, you know, just discarding 1 lightning energy wasn't that bad. Yeah, another good stage Pokemon, I guess, from this set would do 20 extra damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Right. So I don't really think there's anything else. The big cards is what I asked. This was really the GardeGallade set. Gardevoir and Gallade really fucked everybody up. When DC got released, they fucked everybody up once again for a while until they finally rotated out. Of course, Rosane's Research was a very big card, and there were like a lot of small Pokemon, like I've said, like Trapinch, Flygon, that played an important role with the Memory Berry. And really is the GardeGallade set, like I've said, it really is the kind of set that it really is one of the strongest sets of all time, just because of a couple of cards. It's not the kind of set that is rich with amazing cards, that, you know, it's just an awesome ass set in general. I mean, of course, many of these cards for their time, you know, they were okay. I think Dugtrio, if I remember right, too. Oh, no, wait, no. Confused it with another Dugtrio. But, yeah. Let's look at Suicune as well. When you put Suicune into your bench, you may search it for 3 water energy and put them into your hand. Oh, wow. So this is actually an amazing partner for Alligator from Hard Gold, Soul Silver. I almost forgot about that. Don't remember this guy having this sort of effect. Yeah. So this is quite cool. So like I've said, there's a lot of cool cards from here, but it really is the GardeGallade set. When this came out, it really just shifted. It really was like a power creep shift. It really determined, okay, which things are really like at the top of the game right now. And Mike Mortar, yeah, I can't forget about this guy. Would heal himself when you put a fire energy on it, and does 20 damage times the number of fire energy attached to Mike Mortar. So the more you have, the more damage he does. But it was really Mike Mortar level X used with these guys that made the top, well, not top deck, but I guess a rivaling deck for GardeGallade. I should look into it more. But I hope you guys enjoyed this walk down the memory lane. It's not back down the memory lane, but with Secret Wonders, oh, and Skiploom too. You would use this with what the hell is it called? Let me just check. I forgot the name. Skiploom. Where are you? You are called Jumpluff. Yeah, it's Jumpluff. Okay, I can't find it, but I remember this Jumpluff. So you would use it with Jumpluff from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. It was the better Skiploom metal line to use. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys share this with your friends. Leave a like. I think I covered most of the good stuff from this set easily. Really, the most cards people missed I get from this set would be Roseanne's research. Yeah, when we lost this, people missed it. I missed it. Anyway, guys, Wolf 94, and what's up?